Adventure doesn't have an age limit, but comfort, balance, and control matter more than ever. So today, we're counting down 20 Japanese adventure motorcycles perfect for riders over 45, light, reliable, and built to make every ride feel brand new. 20. Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES. We'll start right at the top, with the bike that sets the benchmark for every Japanese adventure machine out there. The Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES isn't just another ADV, it's the reference point. This 1083cc parallel twin is Honda engineering at its calm, confident best. It delivers 101 horsepower of velvety, predictable pull, enough to carry you across continents without breaking a sweat. And with Honda's optional dual-clutch transmission, shifting becomes optional too. You focus on the horizon while the bike politely handles the chores. Every part of this thing is designed for long days in the saddle. Electronic suspension, a 6.6-gallon tank, tall windscreen, heated grips, and ergonomics that feel like they were measured with your chiropractor's approval. It's big, yes, but balanced. Smooth on highways, unflappable on dirt, and impressively stable even when stacked with luggage and life decisions. What makes it special is the ease it gives seasoned riders. No drama, no fuss, just confidence. For anyone who's done chasing speed records and now chases sunsets instead, the Africa Twin Adventure Sports is less a motorcycle and more a passport to anywhere. 19. Yamaha Tenere 700. Slide from premium polish to pure purpose, and you land on the Yamaha Tenere 700, the bike that dragged adventure riding back to its roots and told electronics to take a hike. Its 689cc CP2 twin is one of the most beloved engines on the planet. Smooth, torquey, and utterly dependable. It makes about 72 horsepower, but numbers don't tell the story. Twist the throttle, and it answers instantly, like an old friend finishing your sentence. No lag, no menus, no algorithms, just throttle, brakes, and bravery. At around 450 pounds wet, the T7 hits that magic balance. Light enough to play in the dirt, heavy enough to feel solid at 70 miles per hour. Upright stance, roomy seat, long travel suspension. It all feels natural whether you're threading traffic or climbing rocks. And it's refreshingly simple. No riding modes, no touchscreen dashboards, just you, the machine, and a very long to-do list of places to explore. If the Africa Twin is the king of comfort, the Tenere 700 is the champion of honesty, a motorcycle that rewards skill, not software. 18. Kawasaki KLR 650 Adventure, now from refinement to resilience. Meet the Kawasaki KLR 650 Adventure, the motorcycle that refuses to die, even when its owners try. Since the late 80s, the KLR has been the Swiss Army knife of motorcycling. Simple, sturdy, and practically allergic to failure. Its 652cc single-cylinder thumper may seem humble beside fancy twins, but it'll chug up mountains, crawl through deserts, and idle contently outside the grocery store like a loyal dog. It makes about 40 horsepower. Plenty, because you don't ride the KLR to race. You ride it because it'll always get you home. Fuel injection and ABS keep it modern enough, while the 6.1-gallon tank, factory panniers, and crash bars make it the ultimate budget adventurer. Weighing roughly 480 pounds, it's not light, but it feels planted and predictable. The engine runs forever, maintenance is caveman easy, and parts are everywhere. It's not glamorous, it's not fast, but it's faithful. For riders who measure value in miles, not spec sheets, the KLR 650 is a legend that keeps clocking in when others call it quits. 17. Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE. That's the heavyweight trio done. Now we step into the world of balance and versatility. The Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE is what happens when reliability gets a polish and decides to go off-road for fun. Powered by a 1037cc V-twin, it makes around 106 horsepower, but it's the torque curve that does the talking. It pulls smooth and steady from low revs like it's known the road for years. On tarmac, it's planted. Off it, surprisingly agile. A 21-inch front wheel, long travel suspension, and gravel mode turn rough roads from obstacles into invitations. At about 545 pounds wet, it rewards finesse instead of force. Perfect for riders who prefer smooth hands over brute strength. With TFT display, cruise control, and thoughtful ergonomics, the 1050DE makes long rides feel shorter and short rides feel like escapes. It isn't flashy, but it's steady, the quiet professional that never panics, even when you forget where the trail ends. 16. Honda XL750 Transalp. If the V-Strom is the steady hand, the Honda XL750 Transalp is the smooth talker. Light on its feet, easy in traffic, and always unruffled on open roads. This is adventure without the drama. Honda dropped its new 755cc parallel twin into the Transalp, delivering a broad, buttery torque curve that feels alive everywhere. 90 horsepower sounds good on paper, but in practice, it's the composure that wins you over. This engine just flows. At 459 pounds, it's right in the sweet spot between manageability and highway confidence. Tall enough to look heroic, narrow enough to handle city lanes, it rides like it's already read the route notes. The clutch is light, steering neutral, posture natural, and somehow it makes you smoother too. Classic meets modern styling gives it that understated, I actually ride this look. The Transalp isn't here to dominate, it's here to deliver the kind of effortless competence that makes every journey feel like the best decision you made all week. 15. Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus. Now for the geek's dream done right. The Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus, proof that high-tech can still have heart. Its 890cc triple engine makes about 117 horsepower, and it delivers that power with Yamaha's trademark silkiness. Enough snap to wake you up, enough smoothness to keep you zen. At roughly 485 pounds wet, it's feather-footed for a tourer, ready to carve corners all day without needing painkillers afterward. Radar-linked adaptive cruise control, semi-active suspension, quick shifter, the tech all works quietly in the background like a good co-pilot. You stay focused on the ride while it fine-tunes comfort in real time. Ergonomics are relaxed, sporty, wind protection excellent, and luggage integration seamless. For riders who've traded adrenaline spikes for high-quality miles, this is what luxury feels like when it wears a helmet. 14. Kawasaki Versys 650. Now that the high-tech traveler's sorted, let's meet the everyday hero. The Kawasaki Versys 650 is the motorcycle equivalent of that perfect back road. Predictable, flowing, and always a good idea. Its 649cc parallel twin puts out around 67 horsepower, but it's the buttery mid-range that steals the show. The throttle is crisp, the clutch feather-light, and the handling obedient without ever being boring. At 482 pounds wet, it's planted on the highway, yet nimble enough to dodge potholes and midlife crises. The 33-inch seat gives a commanding view without making you feel like you're climbing Everest every stoplight. And the ergonomics say, let's do another 100 miles. Adjustable windscreen, comfy suspension, smart layout. It's the definition of no-drama performance. The Versys 650 doesn't chase fads. It just quietly keeps riders happy year after year. 13. Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. Next up, the Suzuki V-Strom 800DE, the newest example of Suzuki finding the middle lane and absolutely owning it. Its 776cc parallel twin makes about 83 horsepower, tuned for usable torque instead of pub bragging rights. It's so smooth you could ride it sunrise to sunset without ever feeling rushed. Weighing around 507 pounds, the 800DE is steady but never sluggish. The 21-inch front wheel and long travel suspension say yes to gravel, while the seat and wind protection say, don't worry, you'll still feel your legs tomorrow. Ride modes, traction control, switchable ABS, all the tech you actually need, none you don't. It's modern, friendly, and built for riders who've realized that calm confidence always beats chaos. 12. Honda NX 500. Now for something leaner and livelier, the Honda NX 500. It's living proof that adventure doesn't have to come in extra-large sizes. Powered by Honda's 471cc parallel twin, it makes a refined 47 horsepower that feels silkier than the spec sheet admits. At 432 pounds wet, it's approachable, maneuverable, and surprisingly capable on long rides. Upright ergonomics, feather-light clutch, and balanced geometry make it the definition of easy to live with. Sharp design and clean lines give it a quiet confidence. You don't need decals screaming adventure when the bike actually delivers it. It's for riders who want freedom that feels light, not loud, and who know that the best roads usually start where traffic ends. 11. Yamaha XT250. Finally, the minimalist's favorite toy, the Yamaha XT250, proof that adventure can come with a Kickstarter attitude. Weighing just 291 pounds wet, it handles like a mountain bike that discovered caffeine. Its 249cc air-cooled single puts out a humble 19 horsepower, but twist that throttle and you'll be smiling before you hit second gear. The 31-inch seat height welcomes everyone, and the long travel suspension shrugs off whatever the road or lack of road throws at you. It's quiet, simple, cheap to maintain, and so fuel efficient you'll forget what a gas station smells like. No ride modes, no stress, just throttle, clutch, and grin. For riders who prefer memories over gadgets, the XT250 reminds us that sometimes less engine equals more adventure. 10. Kawasaki KLX 300. That's Yamaha's simplicity handled. So now let's talk about the Kawasaki KLX 300, a bike that loves dirt but won't make you suffer on the street. Its 292cc liquid-cooled single makes about 28 horsepower, which doesn't sound wild until you realize the bike weighs just a tick over 300 pounds. That power-to-fun ratio is basically engineered for grins. The wide ratio gearbox lets you crawl through forest trails 1 minute and cruise at 70 miles per hour the next without feeling like you're punishing it. Fully adjustable suspension means you can tailor it from Sunday trail ride to Tuesday commute with a few clicks. The upright posture feels natural, the seat height gives real control, and it rides with Kawasaki's trademark smoothness. No surprises, no stress. It's not trying to win Dakar, it just wants to make your daily rides feel a little more adventurous, and it succeeds effortlessly. The KLX 300 is what happens when reliability gets a dirt tan. 9. Suzuki DR 650S. From new school lightweights, we shift to a true survivor, the Suzuki DR 650S, a bike so dependable, Suzuki basically stopped updating it because, why bother? The 644cc air and oil-cooled single puts down about 43 horsepower, but its charm isn't the output, it's the attitude. It thumps along like a mechanical heartbeat, predictable and strangely comforting. The gearbox clicks with that old-school satisfaction you just don't get from modern buttons. At roughly 366 pounds dry, it feels agile for something that looks ready to cross continents. Simple, rugged, and easy to fix with a multi-tool and a bit of optimism, the DR650S is the anti-tech hero. It won't dazzle you with screens or sensors. It'll just take you anywhere, then quietly wait while you brag about it. It's proof that adventure never goes out of style. It just gets a little dustier. 8. Honda CRF 300L Rally. Adventure doesn't always mean big engines and bigger budgets. Sometimes it's just you, a dirt road, and the Honda CRF 300L Rally humming beneath you like it's happy to be alive. Its 286cc single-cylinder engine makes about 27 horsepower. Not headline-grabbing, but it's all about delivery. Smooth, tractable, and always willing. It's the kind of power that makes long days feel short. At 333 pounds wet, it's forgiving and friendly, especially for riders easing back into off-road fun. The rally trim brings comfort where it counts. A larger tank, better wind protection, longer travel suspension. It'll cruise highways all day, then bounce down a gravel trail like it's nothing. Everything about it works in rhythm: clutch, controls, posture, power. This is the bike for riders who've stopped chasing horsepower and started chasing horizons. Simple, trustworthy, and quietly addictive. 7. Yamaha TW200. Rolling from Honda's featherweight Explorer to something delightfully weird, the Yamaha TW200. It's been around since the 80s, and those balloon tires are still the funniest, most functional thing in dual sports. Underneath that cartoon silhouette hides a 196cc air-cooled single pushing around 16 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much? Wait until you hit sand or mud. Those huge tires grip like tractor treads, turning sketchy surfaces into playgrounds. At 278 pounds wet with a 31-inch seat height, it's approachable for anyone and comfortable for everyone. Throttle, clutch, go. It's that simple. No traction control, no screens, no stress. The TW200 proves you don't need to go fast to have fun. You just need to look like you're enjoying it more than everyone else. It's a bike with a sense of humor baked into the design, and somehow it still works brilliantly. 6. Kawasaki KLX 230S. Following Yamaha's cult hero, Kawasaki steps in with the KLX 230S, a dual sport that's as friendly as your first bike but tough enough to keep forever. Its 233cc air-cooled single produces around 19 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much until you realize it's pushing only 300 pounds of curb weight. With a 32-inch seat height, it's approachable without feeling like a mini bike, and the low center of gravity gives it the kind of stability new riders dream about. The soft suspension soaks up bumps like a backpacker's bedroll, and the transmission clicks through gears smoother than you'd expect at this price point. It's relaxed, steady, and just plain nice to ride. The KLX 230S doesn't pretend to be a race bike. It just quietly gets you to every trailhead with a smile on your face and fuel left for the ride home. 5. Suzuki DRZ 4S. Time for a comeback that fans have begged for. The Suzuki DRZ 4S, the 2025 revival of the classic DRZ 400S, brings the legend back with modern manners. It keeps the original's soul, a 398cc liquid-cooled single making about 40 horsepower, now with fuel injection and a touch of refinement. Still a steel frame, still tough as nails, just cleaner and smoother. At roughly 320 pounds dry, it's lively on trails and stable on pavement. The gearing is spot on for crawling through rocks or cruising at 65, and the ergonomics are upright and fatigue-free. No gimmicks, no clutter, just a thumping engine, a sturdy frame, and that satisfying let's go anywhere feel. It's not nostalgia, it's evolution done exactly right. 4. Honda Africa Twin CRF 1100L. While its adventure sports sibling gets the spotlight, the Honda Africa Twin CRF 1100L quietly delivers one of the most balanced adventure experiences money can buy. The same 1083cc parallel twin puts out just over 100 horsepower, but this version sheds a little weight and gains agility. It's still smooth, still torquey, and somehow feels friendlier when the terrain gets tricky. At about 505 pounds wet, it strikes that perfect compromise between big bike stability and real-world manageability. The seat is plush, the suspension forgiving, and everything about it radiates calm confidence. You don't need a long resume of off-road skills. The base Africa Twin just works. It's that rare big ADV that feels heroic but never intimidating, elegant yet unbothered by the occasional mud bath. 3. Yamaha MT-03. From heavyweight royalty to something small, snappy, and full of personality, the Yamaha MT-03. Not a true adventure bike, sure, but for urban explorers and weekend wanderers, it's a hidden gem. Its 321cc parallel twin delivers 42 horsepower, and with a 373-pound curb weight, it feels like it runs on caffeine. Throttle response is eager, the clutch feather light, and the whole bike flicks through corners like it's dancing to its own soundtrack. The upright stance and wide bars give you control and comfort, while the low seat height makes it as welcoming as it is fun. It's not meant for deep trails, but pointed at twisty back roads or scenic city runs, and it feels completely in its element. The MT-03 reminds us that adventure doesn't always mean dirt. Sometimes it's just getting lost with a full tank and zero plans. 2. Kawasaki Versys X300. From Yamaha's nimble street prowler, we move to one of the most underrated travel machines on the market, the Kawasaki Versys X300. Small displacement, big attitude. Its 296cc parallel twin makes 39 horsepower, but it's so smooth it feels like it's running on silk. Rev-happy and composed, it cruises highways comfortably and doesn't flinch at dirt detours. At 385 pounds wet, it's approachable for everyone. Upright ergonomics, roomy cockpit, and soft suspension make long rides surprisingly easy. Kawasaki's done something clever here, built a bike that feels much bigger than it is. The Versys X300 is the perfect gateway to adventure. Economical, durable, and endlessly forgiving. It doesn't shout. It just quietly gets you everywhere you meant to go, and a few places you didn't. Number 1. Suzuki V-Strom 800. We close with a machine that sums up everything great about Japanese adventure bikes. The Suzuki V-Strom 800. Calm, capable, confident, and tuned for riders who value rhythm over rush. Its 776cc parallel twin delivers 83 horsepower with buttery smooth delivery. The throttle is natural, the power band broad, and at 492 pounds wet, it feels lighter than its specs suggest. This 800 trades the DE's off-road bias for refined road manners. Plush suspension, slightly lower stance, and a seat that practically invites cross-country trips. Cruise control, ride modes, traction management, and a clean TFT display complete the package. It's effortless, composed, and deeply satisfying. The kind of bike that leaves you more relaxed after 300 miles than you were before you started. For riders who've learned that balance is the ultimate luxury, this Suzuki delivers it perfectly. And here's a fun fact to wrap it up. More than 65% of adventure motorcycles sold in the US are Japanese-built, and most are still running after a decade. When Japan builds for the long haul, the adventure never really ends.